Hey guys, how you all doing today? And today we're watching the Wolverine that came out in 2013, another solo Wolverine movie. And the last one wasn't too bad. It was really over the top and silly, kind of like a Nicolas Cage movie without Nicolas Cage in it. Instead, we had Hugh Jackman and the guy from Scream. So I don't know. It wasn't a bad movie, but compared to the last movie I watched in this series, X-Men First Class, it was not as good. First Class was a fantastic prequel to these characters we learned from the first three movies, a la Professor Xavier, Magneto, and Hank McCoy and Mystique. I'm sure there's some that I forgot, but I like these younger versions of these characters. I liked we got a bit, and especially in Mystique's character, we got to learn more about her, how she feels about herself, and how she isn't really proud of how she looks. And then by the end of the movie, thanks to Magneto, she embraces who she is, and she tries to send the same message to Hank. Kevin Bacon as the villain, and he was a Nazi, and he dies through a Nazi coin through his forehead, which was a pretty creative way to die, but it was foreshadowed throughout the entire movie by having this coin. And yeah, it was a really good movie. It was centered around the Cuban Missile Crisis, Cold War in itself. It had that element to it, and it fit in really well. It didn't feel out of place. It was good, and it kind of reminded me of Watchmen and how it was set during the elements of the Cold War too, and obviously different circumstances are there and totally different movie, and but kind of similar in a sense that it all ends with the common enemy being the mutants, aka or the vigilantes or Doctor Manhattan in Watchmen's case. So, and there was a pretty awesome scene towards the end when Magneto was about to reverse the missiles that was thrown at him by the Russians and the Americans, and then Professor Xavier tries to stop him, and then in turn he gets a bullet through his spine and he becomes paralyzed thanks to Magneto. And by the very end of the movie, Magneto releases Frost and he wears his infamous costume that he's wore in the first three movies. So Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy, the guy from Split, they did a fantastic job playing these younger versions of these characters, and I actually brought their relationship. You could tell they had some bond. They were becoming friends, but ultimately their different views and different philosophies end up spiraling. And it was a good movie, and to me, that was more of a deserving prequel than the X-Men Origins Wolverine. So I am kind of curious, is this a prequel? When is this set? I have no idea. Is this set after X-Men The Last Stand? And if you are interested, you can check out my full-length reaction to this, which will be on my Patreon. And if you want to vote to see what I react to next, you can also do that on my Patreon. So, without further ado, let's motherfucking do this, boys and girls. 3, 2, 1, go. 20th Century Fox. It was brought by Disney. Disney wins. Fatality. Oh. Can you just shot yourself in the head instead? Imagine what he's thinking right now. Ooh, his face. Oh my god. Ooh.
Where were you?
Phoenix. Jean. I miss Jean a lot.
No, Chief! No, please!
You can't hide.
No.
You can't hide.
No, Chief! No!
This is after The Last Stand, isn't it? Clearly. Oh my god. I don't know what's real anymore. He looks like Jesus now. I'm so pissed about Scott's death. Bunch of bullshit. Avenge the bear. Did the right thing. Didn't let him suffer.
Logan. And It's a poison, broadhead, which last I heard was illegal.
Oh, you're done fucked up now, you crazy redneck.
I wouldn't bother with them. Most of them will die soon anyway, without your help. 3 of them a week from now, in the same truck. Like so. I'm packed him back.
What did that guy do wrong? He was just drinking his beer.
You're a soldier, and you seek what all soldiers do.
And what's that?
An honorable death. An end to your pain.
Who says I'm in pain?
She's like a therapist.
A man who has nightmares every night of his life is in pain.
He does. Gene. I don't know, I prefer the way Gene went in the second movie. I thought he was better. I don't know.
You said you knew the future of those assholes in the bar.
I know they are going to die.
Oh.
We are all going to die.
Oh.
You said they would die in the same truck in a week.
Yeah.
If you're right, that's quite a talent.
No. Not on this plane.
How does he die? You gonna tell us? Of course you won't. Well, she knows the answer, doesn't she? She is not telling us. Oh my god.
Okay.
I would hate this.
All right. I can do that bit.
You look nice.
I feel violated.
Good point. Scrubbing you and scissoring you. Imagine if they missed and chopped your cock off. Would it regenerate? I'm not gonna continue. Ooh, who's that? Who's that blonde lady?
I can end your eternity. Make you immortal. What they did to me, what I am, it can't be undone.
Yashida Industries can do anything. We have reason to believe that your ability to heal can be passed.
I don't know how they can do that though. They can transfer this healing ability onto this older dude from who he saved in the beginning, and he can become mortal. I guess they can do anything in Japan. What the fuck? He's dead. Logan came at the right time. How did this guy die then? Was it because of his illness or was it something else? And who was this chick? This blonde lady? Was it her? It was her, wasn't it? And once this thing came out of his mouth, was it this healing thing? I don't know what's going on. Something ain't right here. They're gonna
Logan.
try to kill her. They're gonna try and kill her, aren't they? I knew it.
Where is he?
Last I saw, he was protecting your daughter.
You are a toy doll, a companion for a child who has outgrown you. Keep that in mind.
Dick! This is ridiculous and amazing at the same time. Oh, that was good. That was brilliant.
Oh, you die? Jim? Leia! 何が起きてんや? 誰や?
Is it a badass chick? Oh, no, it's Mariko. Mariko, good. Mariko. Good. She saved your ass. She saved your life. Taser that dick.
Your grandfather told me my healing could be taken from me, passed on. I'm not getting better, not like before. She did this to me.
Well, the thing is, the old man's dead. So what is she using it for?
How much, huh? How much?
You don't ask women how much. Oh my. Kind of reminds me of Uma Thurman from Batman and Robin.
When they read his will, I will become the most powerful person in Japan.
You take over the company.
He gave it all to me.
The company.
And that pissed off her dad.
I didn't want
Family problems.
everyone you love dies.
Alrighty then. Oh. It's dangerous sleeping with him. Shit. Oh dear. He's gonna want answers. Where is she? Where's Rachel? Wrong movie. Shit. Where's Mariko?
You're not safe, not in your condition.
Yeah.
Just think of me as your bodyguard.
It's a pretty badass bodyguard.
Not you.
Look at him, he's trying to look
I
tough.
thought being engaged meant you were done with this kind of bullshit.
If Mariko got all the power, she would dump his ass.
It's true. Mariko would have never come through with the wedding. Not once
Yeah.
the will was revealed. She never took
That's
them.
why you wanted the mob to kill her.
So you put a hit on his daughter. Is that it?
Correct, Amundo.
Political careers don't last forever.
That's right.
Wait!
Have a nice flight.
You wanted the truth! I told you!
Ah!
I didn't like it.
Oh.
Oh. It's not. You
How did
didn't-
you know there's a pool down there?
I did.
Yeah. Oh, I love Logan. He has no give a fuck attitude. I respect it. Is he still alive? Uh-oh. I sense a sword fight.
Stay away from him.
Don't hit my friend.
What's this guy from? The guy with the sword.
That viper bitch took her.
He looks really
My
familiar.
father's of...
Ah! Must admit defeat.
What kind of monster are you?
The Wolverine.
You asked for that. You asked for that. I'll tell you this though, if he didn't sort himself out with the whole thing on his heart, he would have died. My dog just came in my room.
What's wrong?
Told you.
Mind
Well,
you,
let me have a look at you.
It's nothing.
she's a good friend, she is.
Thank you.
I forgot her name, but I like her. Then I have to go back there where the granddad was born on. The final battle against that evil bitch. Who the fuck's that? What's that drawing? At first, I thought that was like Iron Man or something. Do you know what it's time for, guys? It's time for the final battle. It's the final count. Oh, he's on his bike. When he stole Scott's bike in the first movie. The good old times.
Or because you're weak.
What in the fuck is that? That is so badass looking. Oh, it's gory. It's a badass shot of him how badass he looks. Oh no! Fuck. Shit. It's a big boy. Logan was so lucky. Good. Die, bitch, die. It's a bit anticlimactic how she died, if that is a death. How the hell are you gonna stop that big son of a bitch? How? Think darkness is your ally. You nearly adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. Go girl, come on. Chop this bitch into pieces. Come on, okay. Oh my god. The thing is though, it's big and fast.
Hey! Bob!
Decapitation, mate. Spine buster.
Logan-san, don't look so shocked. With you at my side, I survived Nagasaki. Surely I could survive this? It's all right. It won't take long. Dr. Green and I have been
Dr. Green?
It's only this armor that's kept me alive.
This wrinkly testicle.
My
He saved your ass during World War II, and this is how you repay him? You dick.
You asked me to come say goodbye.
Now he is.
Sayonara.
Goodbye.
Can you stay?
I can't.
Not anymore.
Yes, you can. It's what you wanted.
Not anymore. I'm watching my dog trying to open the door. It's hilarious. There we go. Attaboy.
What are you doing?
I'm your bodyguard.
I like that idea. I like those two as a pair, like as a, duo to kick some ass. 2 years later.
Trask Industries, solving tomorrow's problems.
Kind of like Stark Industries. Ah! Magneto! Magneto!
What do you want?
Got his powers back.
Dark forces, Wolverine. Human forces building a weapon that could bring about the end of our kind.
Trask Industries.
I want
Everyone stop moving. Professor X. Professor X. Ha ha ha. There he is. But I thought he was in another person's body. What? How did he get back to this?
Logan.
What? I'm confused.
How is this possible?
Yeah.
As I told you a long time ago, you're not the only one with gifts.
Reunion, baby. And that was the Wolverine. This was the movie that should have been when watching X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, I like the story of this. First of all, I like embedding Wolverine into this Japanese culture, having him react to this, the samurais. I love that aspect of the movie. That was the most fascinating part for me. But also, Wolverine himself, his arc in this movie. After The Last Stand, we had to kill Jean, just basically to save the world. When she was a Dark Phoenix, he became recluse. He became a hermit. He grew out his beard. He was in pain. He didn't do any superhero things. He wasn't a soldier. essentially after that, because I took a large toll on him, and he sees things as everything he loves, everything he touches, it ultimately goes bonkers, and that's what happened with Jean. That's why he has these hallucinations of Jean throughout the movie, and ultimately he wants to die. He does. He doesn't. That's the price of living as an immortal. He sees all these things. He experiences all these things. Yes, there's some positives, but also there's a lot of negatives. A lot of trauma he goes through. I like the beginning when he is in World War II in Japan, Nagasaki, and when the atomic bomb is about to happen, and he saves a fellow. I forgot what's his name. The grandfather, which will become a big figure in this movie, which I'll get to in a sec, and that is a that is obviously a good scene to set up what happens in this movie, and then it cuts to him reacting to what happened in X-Men: The Last Stand. So, and by the end of the movie, when he grows a relationship with this with the granddaughter, and Mariko, her name is, with Mariko, and he stops Dr. Green, stops the grandfather essentially. He, he feels better, and he lets go of Jean, even though he had the opportunity to go with her and die and, I guess, be happy, but he realizes he needs to be a soldier, and the ending sets up a pretty. I assume so. You guys told me to watch this before I watched Days of Future Past, and now I understand why, because the after credit scene shows Magneto, who has his powers back, and Professor X somehow, some way is alive, needing Wolverine's help, I assume, because of some weapon that the humans are making to stop the mutants. And I noticed there was an advert on TV as he was in the airport about Trask Industries. So I assume that is what it's about. So I am interested to see where they go from there in Days of Future Past. And I'm actually excited to see Wolverine interact with Magneto, Professor X, and all these characters again, because it's been a while now because we've been getting these prequels and these solo movies. So I'm looking forward to see where they go from here and see these guys together again. When it comes to this movie, though, I like the samurais, the fight scene towards the end. I love the sword fights. I love that part of this movie, and the whole story about the grandfather wanting, obviously, not to die, and he wants Wolverine's healing ability, and Logan can have a immortal life, which is something that I'm sure intrigued Logan, but he obviously turned it down. And then this plan, I knew something was off from the funeral scene. I'm not smart, but obviously that was the plan. And the grandfather faked his own death. He was working on Dr. Green. And there's more to it than this being. This is a serious movie. It isn't. Obviously, there is some badass moments, some swearing in the movie, and there's some blood. It goes all out. It's not trying to be PG, which I respect. And with a Wolverine movie, you would expect that to be the case, because he's not a guy who is, he isn't like Captain America. No, he is a pretty visceral badass who doesn't take any shit from anybody. Hence, that scene when he's interrogating Mariko's husband, and he throws him out the window, and lucky for him, there was a pool there. He didn't care. He's a ballsy dude, so I'm glad they didn't take the PG route and made it, safe. Instead, the scenes of him swearing, the scene of him, tearing through dudes. He doesn't care. And this is a well shot movie. It's a beautiful looking movie, and the action scenes are a lot better than the action scenes we saw in X-Men Origins Wolverine. The CGI in that and how it was shot really distracted me. In this, it's a lot better. This came out in 2013. That one came out in like 2009, I believe, or 8. So, 4 years later, but yeah, it's a lot better in the execution. And it's not as cheesy. This movie isn't as cheesy, and there's certain moments where you feel like Wolverine is in danger. Like there's a chance he could potentially die, and hey, these guys die and they do come back anyway. So look at Professor Xavier and all these people. So, But I like the concept of Dr. Green having this like potion that infects Wolverine, so he can't heal as well, and he gets tired. He's more human, which obviously makes the villain or the enemies have more of a chance to defeat him. And I love this the final battle. I didn't know it was the grandfather controlling it. I thought it was just this massive robot full of adamantium. It was a badass look. It looked badass, and it was a good fight scene. And I felt like, oh dear, Wolverine is fucked. I felt that way, and you don't always feel that way when you're watching a superhero movie. You just feel like, oh, here we go, the villain's gonna get his ass kicked. But when I saw the big bad boss, I'm like, ooh, oh dear. And the twist or the revelation that the grandfather is behind it and he is controlling this massive robot, and that's the only way he's alive, and he wants to have this healing ability and he wants to be younger. It caught me off guard. I actually thought he died, so it was great storytelling too. And my quick overview of the series, I enjoyed the first two a lot. It was a very serious movie about how people would react to these mutants legislation, and you understand Magneto, where he's coming from, but you also understand Professor Xavier. It's a very serious superhero movie. The third one isn't as good, but I like the cure, how it's introduced. I like how certain mutants are tempted by the cure, which is an interesting concept because it's something that would actually happen, because you got Rogue, who is not in an ideal position. She is tempted by it, but I don't think she actually does it. But and then you had the X-Men Origins Wolverine, which was, for what it was a good time. It was entertaining, but it had a lot of problems. I admit that, looking back on it. It was good to see a young Scott, though, and a young Professor Xavier, all de-aged. Even though he was walking... Wait, what? He was walking in that scene. He was walking, was he? Remember? I'm Charles Xavier, and he was walking. Even though he was paralyzed in first class... I just noticed a huge flaw of the series. Someone get me a medal. Anyway, for what it was a good time, and it was nice to see Liev Schreiber from the Scream movies be Sabretooth, and you can't go wrong with Wolverine. You just can't. And First Class was amazing. I loved First Class. It's one of my favorites in the series. And it was a good Wolverine solo movie, and I had a great time. I love having him in Japan and all these sword fights, great action scenes, and also a compelling story in terms of him and the struggle with, everything that's happened after the last stand, of him having to kill Jean, someone who he cared dearly for. So yeah, that was my reaction to the Wolverine, and if you guys enjoyed it, please subscribe and like. I would appreciate it. And if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this, go on my Patreon, where you can watch full-length reactions to all these movies and shows that I react to. And if you want to vote to see what I react to next, also go on my Patreon. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good day.